when he died, aged 45, the funeral was, we all know, here in this churchyard, and the entirety of Dublin Literary Society came down in that January during the emergency in the war, where there was no petrol. It was thought fitting for the entire, as I say, the establishment to come down to this graveyard, this little small graveyard, if you possibly all know it already, and the crowds were such that they jostled in amongst the graves. And the Irish Times produced a long list of those who came, and Austin Clarke and other great names of the day who were friends of FR's, and that very fitting memorial is there following his interment. And I think you'll all come out. I think the rain's now stopped, and just spend a moment or two beside the grave. I'm very grateful to the Skirlingstown Olympiad for making it a feature of their tour of the wonderful cycle ride they make at the end of May, and they stop here in the graveyard and produce and put out a bouquet of flowers, and other poets of the moment read their poetry on that occasion, and the Skirlingstown Olympiad have kept it alive, and we at Higgins were very grateful for that. And some of you went to the launch the other day by my son at Higginsbrook of this new volume of 61 poems by FR. Many of them are well worth rereading again. And there's the great poem, it's a very good poem indeed, though it does tug at my heartstrings. It's called Auction, and that's about the house, about Higginsbrook itself. And it was unfortunately the cause of a great split between FR, his family, and us there, my great aunts and uncles, and because of the way that they are described in the auction, which is he's not complimentary about them, but it's a very, very good poem. And so we at Higginsbrook, I'm glad to say, have closed the gap between his side of the family and ours, and we are now in very friendly terms with his immediate relations, his great nieces and nephews. So there's nothing else I'd like to say. Thank you very much indeed, Michael, for what you have said.
Well, would you like to read the poem?
Auction?
Yeah.
Well,
would you like to?
I think it's a great poem. As I say, it's not a short one.
Right. Well,
it's not a short one. It would take about 5 minutes.
Right. Off you go.
Has anybody got a copy?
It's here.
Because I find it impossible to read the last chapter, the last verse. So if you could read the last verse for me, Michael. Yeah. Auction to Lynn Doyle. Listen, you graziers, men of stealth, gentlemen jobbers, heavy and dun. I've under this hammer miles of green wealth, an eel run slipped from the river's tongue, a house of ghosts, and that among gardens where even the spring is old. So gather around, the sail is on, and nods and winks spell out in gold. Perhaps we could all say it together, going, going, gone. Who bids for this stone wall and gate? Come, gentlemen, their worth is known to you who stared against their weight, and stared so long that, oh, you groan with eyes of hunger, hard as stone. Now they'll no more hang out the sun, nor jail the best of grass that's grown. Those walls are yours, their day is done. Going, gone. And there's the timber you have cached, weighed and measured in a squint, fatherly trees that from a past of windy traffic made a mint of golden rings for their heart's content. They'll make the teeth of sawmills water, so better your bids, and here's a hint, the Boyne will be your gentle carter. Going, gone. Well, boys alive, and who'd desire keener bidding, neater fight, even the skinflint kindles fire, even the tight-lipped purses bite at fields that seem one green delight to slyly dream upon in pubs, when the last drinks were out of sight, So easy on, men, spare my lugs.
Going, gone.
Now I'll knock down to this fine throng the spacious park, once great and grand, that Higgins mortgaged for a song. For even had old Euclid planned its blueprints with his gilded hand, see there before you grace gone wild, and beauty run to earth, a land of gentleness that's all shop-soiled.
Going, gone.
So that's the best soils cropped for coin. Good money there, like mushrooms creep out of pastures, where the Boyne drains the heavy fields of sleep. Why, even look, the frail winds heap fierce silver on the sally hedge, and sods our fortunes going cheap, enough to put your teeth on edge.
Going, gone.
So the last field falls to a nod, falls from a red indentured deed, to you whose hearts throb on the sod. Beef-belted, pea-eyed men of Meath, you've got the lot by nothing said. Indeed, you speak that common tongue of silence, spoken by the dead, for in close darkness all is one.
Going, gone.
Jobbers in land, and so you pass the graces by, and only yawn. Ah, what to you this genteel grass, this willowed, bronzed, umbrellaed lawn, as calm as when Palm Sunday shone through aisles of elm where Stella drove with Dr. Swift to evensong, while crows in each black chapter strove.
Going, gone.
These patterns are not worth a curse, faint patterns from a willow plate. Look at the house, what could be worse than that old peacock roost of late? Its rookie stare sways at your weight to rooms of yellow, pink and blue, where feather brainlings titivate, and then cold shoulder those they think.
Going, gone.
Well, God be with the days of power, those ending with the crinoline, when strength shone like an oak in flower, from minds that tied their time between old books, old wine, and ladies seen, all musical in candlelight. When then seemed bright, by now seems mean, with things of wisdom, grace, and might.
Going, gone.
So the old home goes to the wall, as goes its garden so select, with time's green fingers slipping all. The plum trees keep the walls erect, while ivies hold the stones intact, and what seemed cribbed from Chinese schools, that bridge design, it too is wrecked on a mosaic of midnight pools.
Going, gone.
Then take for nothing that moss house, once hedge school to a gentle breed. You'll see it, if the light allows, beyond the beehives hid beneath nettle stalk and chicken weed. So fare you well may you keep these lands, my people's, yes indeed, for I've their dreams, in me they sleep.
Going, gone.
Lovely. Well done, Christopher.
Thank you.